Hey Libra, this is Pyschicbellalove, and welcome back for your second half of July love reading. You guys were by far and away the most viewed video that I did at the beginning of the month, so thank you so much for that. And I am going to be doing more giveaways coming up as well. So this reading is going to be for the second half of July, and this is going to be for anybody who has their sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Jupiter in the sign of Libra. So if this doesn't resonate with you, check out the readings for the placements in those other signs. And if you are a cross watcher, just know that sometimes the roles can reverse. So I may be referring to a Libra, but it may be for a Capricorn who's watching for a Libra. And also, I consider my readings timeless, but when I went into meditation and pulled cards and all of that before the video, this is the energy that Spirit decided to share with me for the period of July 16th through the 31st. Now, if you would like a personal private reading with me on any subject, not just love, you can reach me with all my info will be in the description box below. And for immediate assistance, I'm always available on avidadvice.com. Make sure you check them out on social media because they're always running new client specials. So welcome back, Libra. I hope that you guys are doing well. Now, for those who are just tuning in, I am a psychic medium and a tarot reader. I don't do the tarot readings on camera because they would just take forever. These videos tend to get pretty long anyways. And so I just, do my readings beforehand, and then I let Spirit guide the reading as I am recording it. And so Libra, I know so many of you have already been dealing with exes returning, and I know for a lot of you it's like not the ex that you were hoping was going to be returning during Mercury retrograde. It's like every ex but the one that you actually want to come back, right? And it doesn't technically have to be somebody that you were in a relationship with to qualify as an ex in this terminology. This could be somebody that you just dated for a while, things didn't work out, whatever the case may be. But I do feel that person is making a return in the second half of the month, and it may even be when we are technically out of retrograde, but we're still in that shadow period where we still have like Mercury retrograde type energy going on. So if your person shows up right on the 31st or even going into the beginning of August, just know that it's still retrograde related, and it's just because we still have that energy floating around, it doesn't automatically end on whatever day that retrograde ends. So I feel for a lot of Libras, that ex, the shining ex is going to be coming back in. And again, I feel like, we talked about this, I believe, in the first reading. I didn't go back and rewatch any of those before I did this. But I'm pretty sure that we talked about somebody coming in for Libras and having to make a choice. I feel like that energy is still on the table, even though obviously you may feel like you've already exhausted all your choices of saying no, when it was all the exes that you didn't want returning coming in the beginning of the month. But there's still, obviously that choice. Now, something I'm always telling my clients is it's really easy for us to be like, well, if that person's coming back, I'm not taking them back. Or to be like, well, I am taking them back, but they need to do this or that. It's really easy for us to make up our mind when that person isn't around, but it often becomes that we change our mind once they're in front of us and we see how we feel may have changed. And I've seen it go both ways, where people thought there was absolutely nothing that was going to keep them from this person, and then the person came back and they realized, I just don't have any feelings for you anymore, oh my god, And for others, they thought that they were dead set on, I'm never taking this person back, and once that person was in front of them, all the love that they thought that they had gotten over comes rushing back in. So just be prepared for that, because I feel like a lot of Libras are going to be very caught off guard in how they feel about this, shining ex returning, the proverbial ex, whatever you want to refer to them as. And so a lot of us, are going to be very surprised that I don't really want this person at all. Like, that I did, I don't, and others will be shocked that they decide to give this person another chance. So I do feel like that is some like big energy going on for the month. And don't be surprised too if, because I'm sure like a lot of us have had exes making these big grand gestures. Let's get married. Let's try to get married again. Let's have a baby. Let's do all these crazy, huge commitment type things. And you've been like, no, because I didn't even want to hear from you in the first place. I really don't want to have a child with you also. But I also feel that, you know, you're kind of expecting that every ex is going to come in with the grand gesture and the big commitment stuff. And your proverbial ex that you've been waiting to come forth, who has yet to arrive but is still coming, may not really come in with much direction. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like getting memes as a text as an opener. Or, hey, how's it going? Or, oh yeah, you know, you left a pair of socks in my house. Do you want me to bring them to you? And you're like, oh my God, that was like 2 years ago and I got new socks since then. But it's really their way of not only starting the communication again, but also feeling you out. Because I feel like especially this person took a very long time for some of us, or they completely ghosted. So whatever it is, it's like they feel like there's probably not a lot of hope left that you're still going to want anything to do with them, and to allow them this opportunity to come back in and to have another chance. So there's some fear there. So it's like, okay, like I don't want to rush in and just say all this stuff and open my heart up and completely bare my soul to you, Libra, and then you're like, yeah, you know what, bozo, like I don't care, or we don't respond at all. It's like, let me dip my toe in and see if you even still will respond to one of my messages, that you didn't block me and my message will actually go through. And then, you know, we'll have some conversations and then we'll get around to that. Especially if this person is an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Like I feel like those ones are really going to kind of drag it a little bit. And that it comes across as way more of them trying to be friendly and this and that, you know, and not really give a whole explanation right off the back of why they're texting you again. And if you did try to get a little confrontational, because Libras, I'm a Libra, you know, we suck at confrontation. And when we do it, like we tend to do it in the most awkward ways because we're not used to doing that. So it's like, here we are waiting for this person to return to our life for all these months, you know, and then they do and we're like, what do you want? And like scare them away. Like we can't do that, especially if it's an earth sign, because I feel like with them, it's like, I'm already shaking in my boots anyways, trying to get this conversation going and I have an opportunity to get to a place where I could tell you why I'm back. And then you put them on the spot and they just literally will freeze. So don't do that. Let them, if you really want this person back in your life, let them have an opportunity to dip their toe in the water and to steer the conversation and to allow things to unfold to a place where they feel comfortable, where they are willing to have this conversation with you. And I get that a lot of you guys actually at some point, maybe during the last retrograde or right afterwards, you had this whole kind of moment with this person anyways. Not all, but some, you know, is what Spirit's saying, where there was some sort of misunderstanding going on or disagreement. And there was, you know, like this whole like, yeah, we should have a talk about this and clear things up and both of us be able to present our sides, but it never happened. And so now when they're coming around again, it's like you have all this stuff that you bottled up waiting to like unleash on them and to explain yourself and defend yourself and tell your side of the story. And then here they're coming in and they're still not giving you that, at least right up front, or that's the way it seems. So that can be like just tell me, I've been waiting months, tell me. But you are gonna have to wait for them to feel comfortable to open back up again, Libra. And I feel like that may take a week or two. But just keep in mind, you know, especially if this person hasn't talked to you for quite a while anyways, like, it's okay to just kind of get back in the groove of talking to each other, because once you have this conversation, Libra, you're gonna feel a little awkward at times too, and so you need to get your bearings with this person and to feel comfortable communicating with this person again, and to feel like you're in an okay place, so that way when you have the opportunity to speak and state your side of things, it doesn't come out jumbled because you're just in a rush because you've been holding on to it for so long, but that it actually comes out the way that you meant to say it in the first place, if that makes sense. And so just be prepared for that, my Libras. Now, if your person is a water sign, I feel like they actually are going to be pretty open from the beginning. Even if they start off the conversation like we were talking about with earth signs, it's like 4 or 5 text messages in. It's like, hey, can we talk on the phone? And then they're just like, blah, 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 let me tell you everything that I've been feeling about you for 3 years now, and you never knew, and I just have to get it out. And so it's almost like this explosion of words and emotions and everything else coming at you, to where I feel like a lot of Libras dealing with water signs, you guys are going to be the ones that shut down, because it's just this rush of stuff coming at you, and it's like you can't absorb it fast enough, and they're just spilling out more and more and more and more and more. And it's like, even after that first initial conversation, you know, even if you're like, okay, great, let me think about all of this that you just told me, every time you talk to that person, no matter which way the conversation is going in the first place, they're going to steer it back to that emotional direction, because it's like they have this sense that I need to keep pounding it into you. I need to make sure that you understand. I need you to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. And you're like, okay, like, I'm still processing everything you told me on Sunday. It's Tuesday. Like, you didn't even let me. And now you're repeating everything, and you're adding in more stuff, and I'm getting very overwhelmed. But don't be afraid to tell them that you're overwhelmed and that you need time to go through all this information and process and figure out what you're going to do with all of it. Okay? Now, if you're dealing with a fire sign returning, I feel they're going to be more action than talk. Okay? So don't be surprised if your fire sign is just immediately like, can I come over? Can we go on a date? Can we go get coffee? Can we have lunch? Can I come to your mom's house? Like, they're literally just like, listen, like, we'll talk, but I want to do that in person, and I want to see you, and I want to spend time with you. I'm not going to sit back and have endless text conversations talking about feelings. They're a person of action. That's part of being a fire sign anyways. And they feel like when they're trying to put something together, especially build a relationship or put one back together, that actions speak louder than words. And so it's like, let me prove this by taking you out to the places I know you like to eat. Let me do things for you. And so just, you know, be prepared that you may have to watch how they're behaving more than listen to words, because that's just the way that they're taking this whole situation and trying to make something happen from it. And then if you're dealing with other air signs, there's going to be a lot of communicating back and forth, and a lot of, well, I don't know, what do you think? And don't think that they're being wishy-washy if that's the way that your air sign is communicating with you when they are coming back in, trying to get this second chance. They're trying to get your side of things. That's what air signs do, you know? Not just Libras, but also Geminis and Aquariuses, is that they do like to look at both sides of the coin. And so it's like, well, this is how I feel, but I want to know how you feel, and then let's talk about how we can make us both feel the same way. So if they seem wishy-washy, being like, well, I don't know, or what do you think, just keep in mind they're trying to get your opinion so that they know how to sort of tailor their course of action in the words that they speak and the way that they approach everything with you, because they're definitely natural planners as well. So I hope that this helps, Libra. That was the main energy that was really coming through from Spirit, was that, you know, that person that you've been waiting for, they are coming back. Don't get discouraged. I know it's really hard when you're seeing all these other people having their exes return, or it's just all these exes that you could care less about, and it's like, I thought the one that I really wanted to talk to, and do I have to wait for another Mercury retrograde, and I don't want to wait until November. They're coming in. Like I said, it may even be a little shortly after we are technically out of Mercury retrograde, but that person is coming back. You will still have your choice. You'll still have your chances for closure for all of that. So I would really, you know, right now, do some journaling. Think about it, how you're going to handle things, the things that you really do want to say, especially if it was a situation where you tried to have some sort of conversation with this person in the past and it didn't happen, and now's your opportunity. So obviously you want to make the best of it. But also, like I said, be prepared that they may have an opposite way of handling things at first. And so it's better to just sort of sit back and let them show you what they're doing about it, rather than to immediately be like, okay, so what do you want? You know, because you don't want them to go away and then have to regret that you didn't handle things the right way. So it's your golden opportunity. Make of it what you will, Libra. And I know that us Libras love to be chased, so this person's willing to do that. So enjoy it. So anyways, Libra, that is your second half of the month. I will be back at the end of the month to give you guys your August first half love readings. And in the meantime, if you wanted a personal private reading with me, all my information will be in the description box below. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a good July. Bye.